Okay, so I wanted to tell you a story. I wanted to tell you a story about something that I was reminded of the other day that happened to me in high school, and it was fun and it was funny and it was a good time and it just came to my mind, so I thought I'd share it with you. In high school, let me give you a little backdrop, okay, or a little background leading up to why this was so funny to me. I was homeschooled all the way through high school, but in high school, when I turned 14, I got to become part of a co-op, and basically what that is it's like a private school for homeschoolers, but it only happens twice a week, if that makes sense. So basically, we got our homework on Mondays and Wednesdays. We would go to classes all day, just like you would at a private school, but then the rest of the week, we did the rest of our work at home. So we just went and got taught for the entire week on 2 different days. So actually, it's a lot like college, to be honest with you. So our co-op was a Christian-based co-op, meaning that we were made up of a whole bunch of homeschool families that were all, had Christian backgrounds and that sort of thing. The kids that I went to school with, we were all real good friends, real close, and we all had our little inside jokes, things like that. But the co-op was run by the parents. Well, the kids, especially in high school, everybody says, and it's not a big deal, but everyone's like, oh man, this sucks, or my homework sucks this week, or my week sucked, or like, they'd say, oh, lunch is over, and everyone would be like, oh man, this sucks. Anyway, I guess the moms and the parents started getting a little bit irritated with the word sucks, because, the older school, they don't like the word sucks. They don't like it. They don't like it. The more traditional ideas were like, hey, suck is not a kosher word. It's kind of like crap used to be the same way. Sucks, crap. I mean, they were all kind of like, they weren't cuss words, but they weren't good words, so it was like, don't use them. That's the way they thought. I remember at one point in high school, the moms said, they sent out an email or they sent out something to all of the families, and they're like, hey, let your kids know that the word sucks is not allowed, or suck is not allowed to be said anymore at co-op. It's off limits, just like cussing, you'll get written up if you cuss, blah 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 blah. And so all of the high school kids, they were very, very good about being rebellious without being like crazy rebellious. They would come up with little things like, if the mom said don't use the word sucks, well, what did we obviously do? Well, everyone said, well, we can't say sucks anymore, so we gotta say blows. It's not sucks. And in my opinion, blows and sucks are they kind of have the same connotation, to be honest with you. They're not the most kosher of words to use. If you're not going to use one, you wouldn't use the other one. But obviously, we were like, well, what's the big deal about sucks? I guess if they said we can't use sucks, we'll use blow. The kids started all saying, oh man, this blows, or oh man, my phone just loves to interrupt these videos. Oh man, lunch is over, this blows. The moms and dads, it was kind of like, the parents were kind of like, really? Really? We just said you couldn't use the word sucks. Before it was all said and done, people still used the word sucks and blows, and it didn't matter that much. But it was one of those things, it's like implement a rule because somebody like just gets fed up with it at some point, or somebody gave them attitude and happened to use that word, and they were like, okay, you can't use that word anymore. It just reminded me of the high school days, good old times where we used to sit around in the lunchroom and listen to music and talk about our favorite bands and figure out ways to defy the rules without being like crazy. That's how us homeschoolers, we partied, man. So anyway, just came to my mind, I thought I'd share it with you guys. It was funny, and it was funny to see the people's reactions too whenever like they expect you to say this sucks, and then they're gonna get you on it, and you're like, oh man, this blows, and they're like, wait, what? What? And I mean, at first they were like, we didn't make that a rule. We can't get them on that. But it's kind of the same thing. What do we do? What do we do about this? Yeah, those were fun times. Now that I say that story, I guess it was more funny when I was thinking about it. Nevertheless, you now know a little bit about my high school experience, and maybe I'll tell you some more stories about high school in the future. You want to see my high school stuff? You want to hear my high school stories? Leave me a comment, let me know, or thumbs up this video, and if it gets a lot of good stuff, then maybe I'll tell some more crazy high school stories. Until next time, rock on. Peace out. High five.